Hello, wonderful people. How are you? Well, today I'm talking about faith. Because you gotta have faith, faith, faith. You've gotta have faith, faith, faith. Exactly. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. So I just so happened to be talking to Jesus, the Jesus energy the other day, and I was giving him thanks for the lovely message that they gave before, the message that I posted. I can't even remember what the message was, but at the time I said to them that it was a lovely message. It was beautiful, yeah? And they said, well, that's our job, is we are here to give these messages of great hope, okay? And then they said this stuff, which you know what it is, like lots and lots of times it's the same message, really. Good news, everything's going to be all right, don't worry about it, stop shitting yourself, get on with the work. So it's like kind of that message. But every now and again they say something and it stands out to me like, oh, I haven't heard that before, or that's something new. Okay, so the Jesus energy went on to say, understand this, we are not allowed to give you anything in our messages that isn't already here in this timeline. Okay, and that's kind of, I didn't ask about that, they just offered this. And I said, how do you mean? And they said, well, what we're saying is this, we can't give any information outside of what already exists here. And what they said was that everything has been put here in this timeline, just like a video game, looking for clues. All of the clues are here, all of the information's already here. Our job is to find it. Our job. And so the Jesus energy, the messages that they give, it's information that we already have. It's all here. Okay? So what's interesting, what I thought was the interesting part of it, is that they can't give us information about something on another timeline. How very interesting. And not only that, but if they say all the information that's on this timeline, that means that there are loads of other ones as well. No, it means at least there's one more. I don't want to exaggerate the fact. On this timeline or the other one, or the others. There could be many. Who knows? Who knows? So, I mean, that ties up with what the emissaries were saying about these things that are left here from past cultures and past histories that don't make any sense at all. And they said they're not from this timeline, they're just plonked there like little messages to let you know that there is something more. Well, that's what the Jesus energy was saying. There's more, okay? And so, what they were saying was they've left there, whoever they are, okay? Those that have built this, they've left loads of clues and signposts. And our job is to follow during the course of our lives, wake up, and then start following the clues and the signposts. And they said, this was their very important bit, that will lead us to have knowledge enough to be able to then gain faith. Okay? And they talked about faith. Right? And what they said was this, because when you have faith, you can move mountains. But we must, to get faith, we must do the work. I think was it Paul, ex-Saul, before he was a baddie, Saul, and then when he was a goodie, Paul. Bit boring, but a goodie. A little bit boring on those letters to the Corinthians, bit boring. But he said, faith without works is dead. Okay, and I think what the Jesus energy was saying was that you need to get the faith. You need to do the work, you need to look, you need to investigate, you need to examine. And then with all of that information, you build up this faith. Okay? And it made me think of the armour. Okay? The armour in the Bible. Because faith comes up. Faith can move mountains. But in the Bible, it was the shield of faith. With that shield of faith, once you've got a big shield of faith, nothing can bring your vibe down. Nothing can move you. away from what you believe because you go, no, how do we get a shield of faith? Well, it's got to be from all the information. I'll give you an example of that in practical terms. Have you seen somebody, some people are really good at it. So they're having a conversation and one person on one side, you've probably all seen this, all they've ever done is passive study by watching the television. Okay? That's where they get all the information from. So what they have is a wealth of information that is about 1.5 millimeters deep. Okay, it's just superficial. It's superficial. And they're talking to one of us who has done 20 years of investigation. Has spent like God knows how many hours investigating down all the rabbit holes and information. And when you listen to these people who have no information at all except from the television, so pack of fucking lies, okay? And they're spouting off these things. And the other person has got the shield of faith and the stuff just bounces off because they go, well, actually, the truth of the matter is blah, blah, blah. Well, actually, what happened, blah, blah, blah. Well, in 1989, blah, blah, blah. And remember in the last meeting, and they've got this wealth of like protection, like, and all the other people, what do? They tell you the 3 things that they've been told, okay? Sometimes those 3 things don't even agree. They don't even agree with one another. Well, it is safe and effective, yeah? For example, yeah? And you're doing the world a disservice by not having it. And then you go, well, yeah, but you know that, blah, blah, blah. You know that Pfizer's in the process of being sued by Texas, you know, and blah, blah, blah. You know, so you've got all this information. And it makes up your faith. And do you know what? I was looking at the armour, the biblical armour, okay? Some of them I already know, like shield of faith, yeah? Shield of faith, breastplate of righteousness. I like that one. I like that one. You know, nobody can get through to me and my heart because I'm a righteous person. Yeah, but there is some helmet of salvation. I like that one. Helmet of salvation. Okay, I'm not even going to go there. I wanted to make a joke about that, but I'm not. Okay, and sword of the Spirit. So all of those were very familiar to me. Very familiar. Sword of the Spirit, like in the tarot cards. But then we've got the shoes of the gospel of peace. Now, I can't remember those shoes being mentioned. I mean, is this, you know, Mandela effect or whatever? The shoes of the gospel of peace. It doesn't even go together, does it? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I've got the gospel of peace and I've got these shoes. Listen to them. I have had times when the sole of my shoe fell off, and as I walked, it looked like it was talking. And it could have been giving the gospel of peace. But I don't recall that. You know, I don't recall that. And also, the belt of the truth. Well, I haven't heard that one either, the belt of the truth. And I was thinking about the fact that, you know, the belts do tell you the truth. They tell you how fat you are. They tell you if you've gained weight. So the belt of the truth, you go, whoa. Get the punch, I'm going to have to put another hole in. Okay, why? Because I've lost weight. No, normally because it's gone, you know, there's less room on your belt, you've got to put another hole. Okay, and then that brought me to this thought about what's going on. At the moment in Spain, somebody who was extremely fat, okay, I'm going to say that quietly, F-A-T, they died. Okay, I should have said that quietly as well. I don't know what words I'm allowed to say anymore. Okay, and she just so happened to be a great proponent of this. I mean, she was famous. Okay, great actress, great proponent of this, and very W-O-K-E. Okay, and she died, and people were saying, well, perhaps it was because she wasn't very healthy. And so this has sparked off this polemic in Spain about fat phobia. Okay? And what they're saying is that by saying that she was ill and she probably shuffled off this mortal coil because of the fact that she had copious amounts of extra energy stored away on her body, that we are being fat phobic. Okay? So you can't say that big people, FAT people, are not attractive to you. Hence, also you can't say that transgender people are also not attractive. You're not allowed to say that. I'm not attracted to them. Then you are transphobic. And if you're not attracted to big people, you know, generous people, then you are fatphobic. So it's like, have you noticed that whenever you want to speak what you would call your truth, and I'm not saying that it's a panacea for truth, you know, but generally people who are on that side, just like the people who go the other end, you know, the anorexics, nobody would say an anorexic was healthy. However, you're able to say it on the other end now. Why? Oh, God knows why. I know why. I know why. God knows why, exactly. And I know why. Because we're living in a world that is ruled by the devil, and so everything has to go tits up. Everything has to go up on its arse. Okay? Is that I don't even know if that's an expression. That means upside down. Everything's got to be upside down. Good is bad, bad is good. Yeah? Healthy is unhealthy, unhealthy is healthy. Just the way it goes. Yeah? Bad food is good food is bad food. You've got to pay extra money to get food that doesn't have poison on it, and less money for food that has poison on it. Well, that's the world that we live in. Okay, so that's where we are in Spain at the moment. There's this big polemic about it. Okay, and they're all saying, but it's an illness. And I don't disagree. Not being able to control your own body is an illness. Not being able to control what you stuff in your face is an illness. It is, but it's not a physical illness. It's a mental illness. And, you know, you need help. You need help, and I don't disagree with that. However, it still doesn't make it healthy. You know, it's like, hang on, but we're not talking eggs and eggs here, and not too many eggs, okay? Using a food analogy. For them, it'll be like 3 dozen. I'll have 3 dozen for my breakfast. I'm just 1 egg and 1 egg. Okay? So, dear me, I could get myself into a big hole here. Well, it wouldn't need to be too big, but for them it'd have to be a really big hole. So, anyway, the belt of truth. Right, so let's get back to what I was talking about. So the Jesus energy was talking about faith, okay? And they said that faith needs to be built. But you can only build faith to this point. And beyond that, it's pure faith. So it's built upon information and knowledge and everything. But there's a point where that information and knowledge will not take you any further forward. From that point, you've got to go it alone. And that's the faith element, which is, I haven't got all the information. I don't know everything, and I'm not sure about everything. But I have faith that this is going to happen. And that's what they were saying. That's where we need to get to. We all need to create our faith. We need to have a faith. That's how they left it. You must have a faith. Just make sure your faith is a positive one. Okay? So I have a faith. I know that this is going to resolve. And I know also in my faith bit, this is the bit I can't say for certain, but I know that I'm going to see the beginning of this. The nice bit. I'm going to be able to enjoy some of the nice bit, probably in the rebuilding of the world. That's my faith. I know that there's more to this than just what we're seeing, and I know that we're coming to the end of this bad bit, the dark, and we're going to move into the light. That's my faith. But you know, if you were to pull my nails out and say, well, show me the proof, I haven't got it. I haven't got it. And so that's what they were saying, is the faith that we have to have has to be a faith beyond proof. And that's what makes it faith, but that's what protects us. Once we have it, they can't take it off us. They can't. So I love you all. I'll speak to you all later. Bye-bye.